everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know I have not posted a video in a really long time, but it's only because they're so time consuming, especially if you are not like a famous YouTube celeb. So obviously I work a full-time job, so it is time consuming, so I haven't done one in a while. But I've really been getting into cut creases, I think because I have like a hooded eye, so I feel like cut creases just stand out so much and they give me more room to work with, and my eye looks a little bit bolder. So I've really been getting into cut creases. So today's video is going to be a cut crease using Stila's liquid eyeshadow. Last week I did a makeup look using the Into the Blue shade, only because Kim Kardashian's been using blue, so I felt like I needed to do something with blue. So I used the Stila liquid shadow. I loved it. I love the Kit and Karma. So I am using a liquid shadow today in my video again. So if you want to try and duplicate this look on yourself, or you want to try it on a friend, or you know, you like something from this, I am using the Morphe 35R palette, and like I said, the Stila liquid shadow. So keep watching and we will get right into the video. So I pretty much already have the one eye somewhat complete. When I'm finished my face, then I'll go back to like the eyeliner underneath and my mascara underneath. So we'll move on to the next eye. So I already have my primer on and like my eyebrows done and concealer under my eye. So we'll go in with our first transition color, and I'm using the Morphe. This is the 34R palette. Morphe 34R palette. So first I'm going to go in with this lighter tan shade, and I have that on my MAC 217 brush, and I'm going to go right in the crease and kind of just buff it up. You can use circular motions for this, the windshield wiper motions, like just back and forth. And this shade is pretty buildable, so you can go in and just keep applying it until your crease gets a little bit darker. So same thing, I'm just going back and forth and just blending it upward a little bit, buffing that out. I am going a little bit closer to my nose and then bringing it out a little bit further. Next, I'm going to go in with a deeper brown color. So I'm going to go in with this bottom color here, and on the same brush, I'm going to go back in on my crease and work that up and buff it towards the top. Now I'm going to go in, I'm going to take a smaller brush, and I'm going to go in with this darker brown shade here. This will be like the darkest shade that I go, because I really want that green and yellow to pop. And now I'm really just going to keep this more right in my crease and not really work it up too much. So you really do want to use a smaller brush for this because you don't want it to get all over your eyelid. Okay, and that's going to create a nice bold eye like that. We are using all mattes. Mattes are perfect for a cut crease because it really defines that crease and it defines that larger eyelid. Now to create our cut crease, I'm going in with the Urban Decay Eden Eyeshadow Potion Primer. And for my cut creases, what I do is I just place this right on the lid. And then I'll like tilt my head down and like look up. It looks like super scary. And then you can kind of see like where that primer falls. And then we'll just drag that out. So now that that's on and you know where that concealer or primer is going to fall, I take my skinny little e.l.f. concealer brush and then I just define that line. So I just sharpen that up and make it nice and clean. And if you feel like you want to make it a bigger lid, you can even go like past that line. But this little skinny brush is going to give you like that nice sharp defined lid. Now we're going to go back in with that same dark color. We're going to carve out that crease a little bit more. So what I do for this, that way I don't get like any weird falling. What I like to do is I take like my skinny brush and then I spray it with like a little bit of Fix Plus. And then I'm just going to dip it right into that brown shade. And then I'm going to go over that line that we just made. I think that I have really hooded eyes, so carving it like this is easier for me, and I feel like it looks a little bit better, where some people can just go right in with an eyeshadow and just carve out that cut crease, where I feel like I have to do the whole concealer primer thing. I have to like dampen my brush a little bit. I don't know. It just works better for me. Now I'm going in with my Morphe M431 brush. This is like a super precise buffing brush. And this, I am going to just buff out that harsh line. You definitely want to use a much smaller brush for this, because if not, you are going to get shadow all over the place, where this is just, it's obviously it's more precise. This is a precise blending brush. So this is just a little bit easier. You can see more of what you're doing, where if you have like a bigger brush on your eye, you can't really see where everything's going. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go over like that whole thing a little. So before I go in with my green and gold shadow, you can already see how much bigger and bolder my eyelid looks. This is why I love a cut crease, because like I said, I do feel like I have a hooded lid. So I feel like this just makes my eyeshadow just stand out more and just give it more of like an artistic look, instead of just like I just throw everything together. I don't always go out like this, but it is a fun look to do. It looks really cool in pictures. Okay, so now I'm taking a flat eyeshadow brush, and I am going to spray a little bit of my Fix Plus on top of that. And now I'm going in with this gold shade right here from the same palette. And this I'm going to pack down on the inner corner of my eyelid and work that right into the deep brown shade. And this you can carve right into our brown line that we have. So we're going to take it in like that. So now we're going to take our Stila liquid eyeshadow, and this is the shade
pronouncenames.com. Douce, douce.
La Douce. I think that's like a French term or something. I really like this applicator brush because I feel like this is pretty precise. So I'm going to use the brush and bring this right up to our cut crease line and drag it all the way out. The brush is pretty small, so it's easy to kind of place the shadow wherever you need it to go. Where some brushes, I feel like I've seen them like too big or too like messy, where this is like a pretty clean brush for the most part. We'll let that dry. Now I'm going to go in with my gold shade, and I'm going to buff out that harsh line between the two, because we want those two colors to blend together. And now I'm going to take this shade over here, which is almost like an iridescent rose gold, and that I'm going to place right in the corner. To make this eyeshadow a little bit more smoky, I am going to go back in with that really dark shade that we used, and I'm going to go right on the outer corner of this look with that. Now I want to clean up any falling that I have. So you guys know I always go in with a moisturizer around my eye, and I just clean up any glitter that could have fallen or dark shadow, because you don't want to put your foundation on and have little pieces of yellow glitter in your foundation. And then for those of you who want a nice sharp line, you're going to dip your Q-tip into a little bit of moisturizer, and you're going to drag this back like that. It's going to give you that nice cut effect. For eyeliner, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Pro liner. I found that this liner works the best with the Stila liquid shadow, because our liquid shadow does have a thicker consistency to it. So this liner glides right on, where I normally use like a felt tip liner, but the felt tip liner does not lay smoothly on the shadow, so it is very hard to use. So we'll drag that out. Next, I'm going in with my Morphe Venice lashes. I love Morphe's lashes because they're, one, so inexpensive, and they're really flexible, so they're really easy to use. And I've noticed that I've gotten like 2 to 3 uses out of them. And as long as you don't put too much mascara on them, you can definitely get way more than 1 use out of them. Alright, I'm gonna let that lash dry, and then I'm gonna move on to my face, and then we will get back into under the eyes with the eyeliner and more mascara. So my face is complete. I put mascara on my top lashes. So now I'm gonna go in and do eyeliner underneath of my eye. So I'm actually gonna go in with eyeshadow first. So what I like to do is I'm gonna take the same small, precise Morphe M431 brush, and what I've been doing is I've been spraying my MAC Fix Plus onto the brush because it gives it more of like a stronger eyeliner effect instead of like being too light. And sometimes I feel like I get a lot of falling if I don't do this, but now since I've been getting into doing this, I have less falling and more of like a bolder look. So you're just gonna spray your brush a little bit, and then I always kind of like wipe the back of my hand with the brush just to make sure that it's not too wet. We're gonna go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, and I'm gonna take this shade Destiny right here. This is like a very similar shade to the Stila liquid shadow that I put on my eye, but just obviously not like shimmering. I'm just gonna outline under my lashes with that color and the brush. I'm not even gonna bring it in all the way. I kind of just stop like right to where my inner liner line ends, and I'm gonna bring this down pretty far. I'm dragging this green color pretty much down to like where, right to like where my eye like starts to like crease, or I guess like where the creases like kind of end. So if you have like, I wouldn't say they're wrinkles, but like little like fine lines and wrinkles like down there, I use that as a guideline and bring that down there. And like in the mirror looking at it, it looks kind of crazy, but then when I look on camera, it looks good. And now I'm going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe, and I'm going to take this dark green. This shade is called Enchanted. I love this color because it's a little bit deeper, but it's still that nice bright emerald. So same thing, I'm just wetting my brush with my MAC Fix Plus. And instead of dragging this color all the way down, I'm going to leave this closer to my lash line. And then just to make like in here a little bit brighter, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe 35R again. Same thing with my brush. I'm gonna spray the brush that I'm using, and I'm gonna go back in with this iridescent rose gold shade. We're gonna get closer to the inner corner with that. And to complete this look, we're gonna go in with mascara on the bottom lashes. I'm using the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, which I am obsessed with. Alright guys, so that completes this look. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.